over there that you have
Okay, step forward.
Profundo, yes. Good morning, Mr. Jaggers. What's going on with you? Mr. Jaggers, right?
This is Jaggers, Judge. Yes, we came to an agreement for the time served on the DWI reduced to a first. We got 12 months deferred on the trespass with the SAT F.
You know, the only wrinkle in this, and there's a big one.
Is it's a 6 month?
No. I don't think that SADF will take him. He's got an open DWI in Montgomery County, right?
Yeah, he'll be waiting until that case is resolved.
I totally forgot.
Okay.
Because you have to have everything done before you go into the treatment program. You know, when you have multiple DWIs in multiple counties, it really adds a wrinkle into everything.
Mhm.
And you need to understand that there are serious consequences, you know? And now we want to work something out with you, but it's impossible to because you have an open DWI in another county. And I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not taking just a time served on your DWI to throw you out there in the world where you're gonna possibly kill or injure anyone. I mean, what good does that do anyone, including you? Sorry?
People wanted me to drink that night, so not say anything in front of the judge like that.
Are you gonna do what other people tell you to do? If they tell you to jump off a bridge, you're gonna jump off a bridge? Be smarter. You know, actions have consequences. And now, and I'm going to tell you that Montgomery County is a lot more difficult than we are here. But I'm not playing catch and release. I want you, if you need help, to get help. And I think that you do. That's the proper course, because if not, it's a matter of time before you come back and really do irreparable damage where you potentially kill someone or yourself. That's what we don't want. We want what's best for you. Throwing you out there with a time server, you just walk out of here, serves no one.
Yeah, speak at all.
I mean, you can, but I'm telling you now, clinicians have told us that you need therapy, that you need inpatient treatment. What could you possibly want to say?
That I drove down here from Denver, Colorado to do the DWI in Montgomery County. And that, I don't know, I had a not so good past life that I don't do anymore, which I just.
Because you're in custody?
No, I'm just saying I used to do things. So some things are very obvious.
Yeah, let's not say more than that.
Right.
But I'm just saying, yeah, I have plenty of proof on my phone or on my laptop, and it'll be cool to show you anything.
The only thing I want, and really, the only thing I want, Mr. Jaggers, is for you to be able to deal with any issues you have and not be in a car. That's all we want. And unfortunately now, what do you want to?
I mean, their offer was to do the deferred. I know Michael was interested in just having the no contact and the anger management to protect the complainant on the trespassing case. And that was the state's only interest. I understand the court's interest. But we can't square that realistically with what's going on. We need to talk about it more, Judge, honestly.
I agree. I don't know what we're going to do, Mr. Jacker, because really you need this program, but I can't get you in while you have an outstanding DWI in Montgomery County. So it's.
I literally hooked up with her a week.
No.
I don't want to, but I don't want to talk about the case. I care about the past, but I'm more interested in the future. That's what I'm doing. Sorry?
May I have one of those alcohol breathalyzer things around my ankle so you know I won't drink, and a
You're already
GPS?
supposed to have one.
Huh?
You were already supposed to have one. In the past, you were supposed to have one. Did it work?
I never got it. That's because they want to put you on probation before you're even tried of anything in Montgomery County. And the scar on my leg right here is because the police beat my ass that day.
1 second. Do you know who the lawyer is in the Montgomery County case?
Have an attorney in Montgomery
Do
County.
you have a lawyer in that
I
case?
represent myself. I have $84,000 in hospital bills over there because the cop didn't have the cam on.
Ay,
Okay,
Ramamamba.
we're gonna send you back.
I
We're gonna
don't
talk
want to
more about
listen
it.
to me at
But I
all.
was hoping perhaps we can work with Global with Montgomery County, if you're able to get him a lawyer. You know, perhaps reaching out to Montgomery County, letting them know that we have him here. Perhaps they will, on their own volition, appoint him someone. That way we can, because letting them know that, hey, we want to put him in a treatment program here, but we can't because of this.
Right.
Or take it here, if you're gonna do that over there, perhaps we can,
Judge.
all right.
Okay, we'll work on that, Judge. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Good luck, Mr. Jaggers.
You like support?
Good morning, Mr. Eli.
Hi, Judge.
How's it going?
A little better. Took a lot of realization about being in here. It's really,
Your head's not in the clouds anymore.
yes, Judge. And I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind, if I can have one chance to prove myself, to go to AA. My mom's in the hospital right now. She's very bad sick. I have my stepdaughter that I'm trying to look after. I don't want to lose my responsibilities over my dumb actions. I know what I did was wrong. I know what I did. I know what I continue to do was wrong.
Mr. Eli, you've been given chance.
I know.
Chance.
I know.
after Chance, and now you have a DWI second, a
I know.
false report, and a failure to stop and give information. So, and I want to tell you now, I don't know how to go forward with your case.
I know, and that's why I'm asking, Judge. I know I got plenty of chances, I know that, but this time, I'm just asking for one more chance to do what's right. To get my life together, to stop being on drugs, to start going to AA, and I'll do an outpatient program if I have to report to the courts, do anything. I'll do it. I give you my word. I don't want to be in here and then something bad happens to my mom. She's in the hospital. You could even have somebody call and check. I am not lying to you. She did a gastro sleeve surgery like 2 years ago. She's on a feeding tube. And they're doing some kind of major surgery on her. Couldn't find out too much because they barely even answer my phone calls. They know, I know it's wrong, what I did, I know.
Really want to take care of these cases.
Yes,
The way that's going to happen is TRASed. Because I don't know how to go forward with your cases until you talk to our clinicians. When that happens, they can give me at least a little headway and a little guidance on how to move forward. With you now, I don't know.
I understand.
All I know is that I'm not going to just throw you out on the street. That would really, really be bad for everyone, especially for you. The only way that we can move forward is when you get TRASed. If you can do that and be honest, because if we get you TRASed and it says that you're a little bunny jumping in the woods and that you don't have any issues, I know that that's not true. I'm going to send you right back to go do it again. I don't want to do anything until we have you TRASed to see how we go forward. That's all I'm asking you to do. The reason you're still sitting here is because you refused to get TRASed.
You guys was for probation.
Order in the court.
It was because you wanted it personally. I thought it was for probation. I didn't want to sign for probation. Because everybody was telling me inside of their probation is set up for failure and stuff like that. I didn't know that you personally wanted it. And then she told me, my lawyer told me
We
that.
have very special types of probations called sober court that will bend over backwards to help you in every way imaginable. You, what I think would be right for is sober court. It's what I think you really, really need.
Okay, so could I sign for that?
First, you have to get evaluated. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, and I think that that's the wise course of action. But the first thing that needs to happen is you have to get evaluated. Once you get evaluated, if they recommend it, then I think that that's what we should do. part of it is you do treatment on the inside and then you also do treatment on the outside. And you have an actual judge that monitors you while you're on
It's
this.
basically like probation.
Yeah,
So what about if I just sign for probation today?
have to get evaluated first. I'm not gonna just sign you probation, not knowing what you need. I can have it expedited, so we can have you TRAS within the next, what, 2-3 days?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. In 2 days, I can have you evaluated, right? And then we can hopefully get the report within the next 4 days. So perhaps in a week, at the most, a week and a half, we can have you ready to go.
But I don't wanna go to an inpatient program. Why can't I do an outpatient program?
Because it don't work. We gave you the opportunity.
They never gave me the opportunity before. I never did it before. I never been to rehab. I'm willing to do it now, Judge. I'm willing to do an outpatient program. I'm asking you just to give me one more chance.
I'm not gonna do anything until you get TRAS.
Judge, alternatively, would you consider a PR bond with monitors, so that he can be released and then report for a TRAS and then we can see instead of having him?
I think he's,
He has been in jail for a month.
tell me about the DWI, Alex, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On Mr. Eli? Yes, Your Honor. It says that on May 2nd, officers were dispatched to a convenience store where they were in reference to a shooting in progress. And upon arrival, they were searching for the vehicle, which had already left the store. The complainant reported that she was at the store when the defendant came in and began acting erratically, stumbling, and seemed to be under the influence of something. The defendant
Oh, that's
stated,
right.
yes, that why are you guys always fucking with me unprovoked? And he went outside and got a gun from his vehicle and fired once in the air.
Judge, may I just add some color to this? I've watched the body cameras as much as I could cram in. They are actually two unrelated incidences, two unrelated vehicles. One's a black Dodge Ram, one's a white truck. The complainant that called about the shots is not the complainant on the FSGI. Two different scenes. Defendant was not at the store. Officers observed the body cameras. There were no shots. Officers confirmed with everyone in the store there was no gun seen. So I'm not sure what happened with that complainant that called the police. I think that was a separate investigation. And I'm also not sure how they ended up stopping and connecting this defendant to that looking out for, since it was a different color car, different color vehicle. The only descriptor was a gypsy. That's all he said. It was a gypsy man, different vehicle. And so, I'm not trying to get to the facts of the case. We're litigated right now. I just think there's an entire investigation, supplement, police reports that.
They're saying a gun was fired and they're saying that he's the one that fired the gun in
No.
response to, I guess, some
They're not.
If I may,
psychosis.
it says the complainant saw the firearm fall from the waistline and that he picked it up. And then the suspect left the store and got back into his vehicle, and the complainant got into observed him back for his car into her vehicle, striking it. And that's whenever he took off without exchanging information. And the complainant got inside her vehicle and followed the suspect.
Judge, two different complainants. I know their names.
So the officers reviewed the surveillance video at the grocery store where the gun discharge was initially reported. And then I believe there was a separate DWI investigation that was going on down the road. So the officers were able to use that image of this defendant on the surveillance video to match it to the person who was pulled over for the DWI.
Tamika versus Miss Purifoy. They're different complainants. And I know that the concerns about the gun. I get it, Judge. I get it. I think that it could have been written a little bit more clear. I think that this entire offense report is about the shooting. The officers that did the investigation on my client, there's nothing in there. There's no body cams. There's nothing. There's no supplements. There's nothing. We don't even know how they stopped him. We don't know how they identified him. We don't know.
Your Honor, if I may, yes, she's correct.
They have the lady that identifies him as far as hitting.
Yes, Your Honor. Tamika reported the shots fired, but Miss Purifoy is the one that observed the vehicle, the gun fall out of his waistband and get into his vehicle and strike hers. So Miss Purifoy did observe him get into his own vehicle and strike her vehicle and leave the scene.
We have him reach out and do a rip,
I'd love that. I'd also love the supplements or to see how my
Yeah.
client was even involved in all of this.
I'm not prepared to give him a PR bond at this point.
Okay, and the reason I'm getting into that is so that maybe you would consider a PR bond, just because it's been 30 days and he's in jail and I can't even give him a good account of What happened?
We tried to expedite this, but it's because he refused to do the TRAS, so we can't expedite it. You know, I tried to do this on the fly quickly, but you refused to do TRAS. You just want to plead guilty, get out. And that's
what I was
not-
trying to do. I didn't know that I had to do the TRAS. If I knew I had to do it, I would have done it. I've been waiting to redo it and they haven't called me.
We're doing it now. You know, today's the first day that I'm hearing that you're now compliant and that you want to do it. We're expediting it for you. Just get it done. We'll come back within the next week. We'll figure out how to go forward with you. Okay? But first things first, and like I said, be honest.
I am
Because
being honest.
if you're not honest, I'm gonna make you redo it. You understand? I'm not asking much.
Alternatively, we can set it for trial, and I didn't want to.
That's the other option you can do is if you don't want to do this, okay, I'll set all your cases for trial. And we'll just one by one, go to trial. And then if you're found guilty, then we'll do the TRAS again.
And stay longer in jail.
Wait, and then, right, you wait for trial and then we do trial and see what happens. If you're found not
Trial
guilty.
dates are you looking at so that you can make an informed decision?
Oh, God.
Because I know for a fact.
Probably
It's
Mika
okay,
and
thank
them
you.
is
I
lying.
appreciate that. I appreciate that so much.
End of November, beginning, I mean, because I have to give them at least 30 days, right? So that's beginning of November, at mid-November to, beginning of December at the earliest. Can you be ready by mid to late November for trial?
Yes, Judge, but there are other cases that will likely take precedence over this case.
Well, but this is a jail case, so unless it's another jail case, yeah, but
We do have other jail cases.
yeah, I mean, do whatever you want to do.
November 12th and November 19th are the soonest trial dates. And then we have December 3rd and 10th.
You tell me what you want to do. I'm happy to go whichever way you want to go.
I would like to do, before going to trial, I would like to do the TRAS and see how if I could get out of jail like that and do an outpatient program. That's not a problem for me, but if you guys want to go to trial, then we'll go to trial on it. Because I never had a gun and I didn't hit and run it.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
The evidence will dictate whose position is correct. I don't know. I've not seen any.
So do you want to set it for a week for you to do the TRAS, or do you want
Yeah,
to set it?
and
for
I would
12?
like to move, if you could tell them to move me positive, because they keep still in my commissary and trying to fight with me to do that too.
I could put in a request. If he's put one in, I'll check the system and see.
I don't know how to
what's been
read it.
put in.
Perhaps medical? Can we get him in a medical?
No, there's no guarantee. If he has no physical ailments that would get him to actually be housed in medical,
No.
that's a whole different one. It has to be done, counseled by the psychologist there
Okay.
for that one.
Got it. Okay, so let's set off a week. We'll have you come back and we'll go from there. Okay, Mr.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Go ahead, come on this one.